The query for today is regarding the transfer of documents. So, a service you provide is being transferred to another service provider, and they would like you to transfer all of the file notes over to their service. Now, are you able to do this? This is a question I get asked very frequently, so let's see how to handle this request. There are a few questions we need to ask ourselves. For example, is it a reasonable request? Would the data subject expect their personal data to be used in this way? And what lawful basis should we use? And what do we need to tell the data subject? Now, these are all good questions, so let's discuss it a little further. Is it reasonable to transfer the data? What would be the impact if we didn't do that? Will the service suffer as a result? And who does the personal data belong to? What does it actually say in the original contract about what happened to the data at the end of that contract? The likelihood is that this would be a reasonable request, but you would need to check out the contract requirements upon termination of the said contract. Would the data subject expect their personal data to be used in this way? Is the data subject able to give their consent to share the data or similarly object to that transfer? Now, ideally, the data subject wouldn't want the transfer of service to affect the level of service they actually receive. So when thinking about a lawful basis, has this changed at all? Is the purpose still the same? You need to carry out your own due diligence to include the safest way to transfer that personal data. You need to make sure that any data shared is accurate and up to date, and a record must be kept of what has been shared, with whom, how, and when. Similarly, the data subject should also be informed of the transfer, because under GDPR, we are required to inform data subjects of certain changes when processing their data, and they may have the right to object. So even though the simple answer would be a yes to being able to transfer that data, there are still an awful lot of other things that you need to do before that transfer could actually happen. But above all, remember that whatever your decision, the action should be documented, including any security measures taken when transferring that data.